Ladies and gentlemen, we now start our Fun to Cure portion of the evening. This is your opportunity, everyone's opportunity, to directly make an impact towards JDRF's key research initiatives. All donations to Fund to Cure are 100% tax deductible. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome this year's Fund to Cure ambassador, Miss Julia O'Leary, to the podium. Okay, come on over. Before Julia speaks, I'm hoping I'm not stealing your thunder. Someone is turning 18 today. How about that today? Shall we sing? Let's sing to Julia. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Julia. Happy birthday to you. This is your birthday party.
Well, thank you so much. I can honestly say I've never had a birthday party with 600 guests before. So, I don't know how I can top this next year. Good evening. First of all, I want to personally thank everyone in this room for being here this evening and showing your support for JDRF. My name is Julia O'Leary, and I was born on April 8th, 1999. So yes, tonight is my 18th birthday. Thank you. Adulthood, how terrifying. I genuinely cannot think of anywhere else I would rather be to celebrate my birthday than at a JDRF event, because no one throws a party like JDRF. And I think it's the perfect time to reflect on my 18 years of life. It's unbelievable to think that as of today, I'm officially an adult. Time really does fly, despite how much you wish it wouldn't. And life is quite the gamble. I guess that's the thrill of it, though. Whether or not we're ready for how the dice will land isn't really part of the question. The world never stops turning, and just when you think it's slowing down, it'll spin twice as fast. My world started spinning on August 5th, 2008, a day I'm incapable of forgetting. As a seemingly healthy young girl, I was shocked to learn of a surprise doctor's appointment scheduled for me that summer afternoon. Now, something to note about me is that I was petrified about anything medical related. Doctors, no, and shots, good luck. Even mention the word doctor around me, and I was gone, sprinting down the street. It was Mother's intuition that persuaded my mama to make the appointment for me. And I fought her on that day, but she managed to drag me in, and thank goodness she did, because if not, I would most likely not be here celebrating my birthday today. It's difficult for me to admit that my blood sugar was so drastically high that I wasn't all that far from death. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes on that day, and that petrified little 9-year-old girl was forced to take on an entirely new level of maturity at such a young age, including taking approximately 8 injections a day and pricking her tiny fingers 8 times a day. I don't think it's possible for me to put into words how terrified or furious I was at the world. Diabetes is extremely emotionally, physically, and socially draining. And the thing about type 1 is that you can't put it on pause. It is a 24/7 chronic disease with no breaks and no opportunity to catch your breath. And after 9 years, half of my life, I can't remember a time without diabetes, and I've forgotten what it feels like to feel normal. Being a diabetic is an emotional roller coaster. When I was younger, I wanted nothing to do with JDRF, or my diabetes in general. I've always taken care of myself, but I was never motivated to make a change or get involved. And one day I had a realization. and I questioned myself as to why I, someone living with type 1 diabetes, am doing absolutely nothing to make a difference. No one is a better spokesperson than myself because I have type 1. I live with it. I am an expert. So is anyone in this room with type 1 diabetes. And it's our job to educate the public and to motivate and inspire others to help us. My viewpoint on diabetes changed entirely. I now wanted to be involved, and I threw myself headfirst into JDRF and everything that it had to offer, and I'm so thankful that I did. In 2015, I became the JDRF Central Pennsylvanian Walk spokesperson, and I'm now a part of the Teen Task Force, which provides support for teens and involves them into our local JDRF chapter. On a national scale, I was chosen as one of approximately 150 delegates from around the world to travel to Washington, D.C. and attend the 2015 JDRF Children's Congress. There, we met with congressmen and women to discuss the continuation of funding for research, and specifically the CGM Medicare Access Act, which previously decided that CGMs had no medical purpose because they are used in addition to blood glucose meters. But I'm happy to report that in January, Medicare announced that they would cover CGMs. The Congress was also important because I met such amazing people during my brief 3-day stay in DC, and I got to know other teens like myself. They came into my life at the perfect time because I think the teenage years with diabetes is hands down the hardest, and it's so important to have people that can fully relate to what you're going through. I became especially close with Sophie, who happens to live in Iowa. She's my diabetic best friend, and we find so much comfort in being able to talk openly about diabetes. I had the opportunity to surprise her last summer by flying to Iowa in June. I plotted with her mom and her friends to unsuspectingly drag her to the airport, but it worked seamlessly, and she was so surprised. We were both thrilled, and we had the best week together. It's through my family and my friends that I can continue this fight against diabetes. My incredible parents have always been there for me, and I know they always will be. The days where I can't find the strength to get out of bed are filled with love and encouragement, and the delirious nighttime lows are perfect mother-daughter bonding time. I love you both more than you'll ever know. My diabetic friends and my non-diabetic friends always support me. The beautiful pack of ladies in the back are my best friends who come to every fundraiser. And they give the tightest hugs when I'm struggling and missing days of school. Diabetes is a constant battle, and there's no guarantee that says I will wake up every morning and have the privilege of living another day, but I definitely don't let that stop me. I use my position to advocate and educate others. I went from being a terrified little girl to a brave, strong, and independent young woman because I had to. Over the last 9 years, I've taken over 35,000 injections and 30,000 finger pricks, and I've survived 5 diabetic near-death experiences. I may be covered in scars, but I think that's just proof of my survival, and I'm so incredibly empowered by that. I've learned a lot about myself in the 9 years I've been diabetic and in my 18 years of life in general. I've learned that I'm accepting of my diabetes. Because without diabetes, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I am Julia O'Leary, and I am a type 1 diabetic. And I embrace that because I'm just one person in such a powerful community filled with some of the most inspiring, compassionate, and dedicated people I have ever met. Without diabetes, I never would have met the many wonderful people in my life. The staff at JDRF, my diabetic friends, my doctor, Dr. Tift, who I'm so close to after seeing for 9 years. Plus, he never would have met his favorite patient, and who am I to deprive him of that? Without diabetes, I never would have been forced into the world of medicine, which I've fallen in love with. So much, in fact, that I will be a pre-med biochemistry major next fall. At Christopher Newport University, my dream school in Newport News, Virginia. Thank you. I'm so proud of myself and what I've overcome in my life so far. The girl that I was before diabetes never had the strength that I have today, because a person who falls and gets back up is so much stronger than a person who never fell. Someone very important to me told me to always find the joy, no matter your situation. Falling down is inevitable, but getting back up, that's living. So this is my story, my success story. I'm alive, I'm happy, and I'm overcoming my illness every day. And while I'm fighting my own personal battle, JDRF is striving to find a cure and make my life and the lives of all type 1 diabetics more manageable with advances in medicine and technology. And your donation tonight will make a difference. With your support, we will find a cure. And the best day of my life has yet to come, because the best day will be the day I get to say, I had type 1 diabetes. Thank you.